A very cool use case in computer vision is to detect personal protective equipment, so PPE detection. Basically just detect if people are wearing hard hat, safety vest, and so on a construction site, or could be in any industrial setting. So we're going to see how we can train a model end to end with a data set, and then you can use it, export it, using your own applications and projects. So let's just jump straight into the Ultralytics documentation. We have our construction PPE dataset directly out of the box that you can use. You can train the model, and then you can apply business logic and use cases around it. So it's pretty easy to get up and running. Inside the dataset tab here, we pretty much have all the datasets available that you can use out of the box. It will download automatically. And here we have a bunch of images. So if you just scroll a bit further down, we can then see the actual example. So we want to detect vest, helmet, and also a person. We also have boots here and gloves. I think we have goggles as well, so it's pretty much just detecting all different types of protective equipment that you should wear on site. So we're both detecting. If we take a look at the data YAML file, this is the only thing that we have to do. We can just grab the dataset with this download URL if you're interested in checking out the images as well. Up at the top, you can see the dataset structure, the training set, validation set, training set, and all that. And we can see we have 11 classes with both positive and also negative categories. So we're both detecting helmet, gloves, vest, boots, goggles, non-person, non-helmet, no goggle, no gloves, and no boots. And the reason why we're doing this is pretty much you could just detect if there's a person and if that person is actually like wearing the equipment. But it could actually be cases where either you missed the person detection or you pretty much just missed a detection for if it's a glove or a vest, compared to just predicting is this actually like not wearing a helmet or a glove, and then you can raise an alert based on that. So it's pretty much just covering all scenarios, so you can use both approaches, and we're just going to train the model based on that. If you go to the Ultralytics notebook section, we have tons of different Google Colab notebooks that you can go in and use directly out of the box. All the notebooks that we're using here in the channel, they will be available in here. How to. Here we can see how to train Ultralytics YOLO on construction PPE dataset. Then I can just click open in Colab. It will open it up. We can connect to a T4. So this is the free GPU resource that we can use out of the box with Google Colab. So while it's just setting that up, we can see we have around 1200 images for our training set, so we should be able to get a pretty decent model. The only thing that we have to do is pip install Ultralytics. Everything else is set up on Google Colab, and it will also utilize the GPU out of the box. There we go. We have our data YAML file structure. We already went through that inside the documentation. So what we have to do now is pretty much just create an instance of our model, train it on our YAML dataset file. We can go for more epochs. Let's just go for 10 epochs. We specify the image size. The data YAML file, it's going to download it automatically, and we just train directly. If you want to use a nano or small medium model, you can just specify it here. Let's just go with a nano model. We run this block of code, and that's everything that we have to do with Ultralytics when we're training a model. So this is a very cool industrial real-world use case in the computer vision space, and also very popular. And you can see how fast you can just spin it up, train your own model, and then you can get it into an actual project and application solving this PPE problem. So now it will download the dataset, it will run some checks, set everything up, and it will train it epoch per epoch. You should definitely train it for more than 10 epochs. If you're running it probably like 50, 100 epochs, it will train pretty fast when we only have 1000 images. So while it's training here, let's just go grab a coffee. It might be back here in just a few minutes. You can see we already have 50% in epoch 1. So it's just going to take a few minutes, and we can take a look at the results and how you can use the model. So our model is now done training while we grabbed a cup of coffee. It only took a few minutes, and we can pretty much just see here it's definitely not fully converged yet, but the model is getting better and better for the number of epochs, and we get okay results here at the end after 10 epochs. So it runs pretty fast. We can see the inference time here, 2.8 milliseconds inference. We can see our evaluation with our bounding boxes or our precision recall. We have our mean error positions as well. So here we can see as an example how we can actually go in and do our predictions. We create our model. So inside our model, after it's done training, we have our runs directory. We have our detect, train. Here we have all the different confusion matrix, pretty good one to look at as well. We have our results.png. Ideally, we want to have all the values in a diagonal, so we're missing some predictions, but we're also still doing a pretty good job after only 10 epochs. So if you have the results.png not fully converged, our model is still learning. You can also going to see a validation batch prediction. So this is just images that the model hasn't trained on before. This is just our validation images, but we can also test on real images. So now we can just load in our model. We have our model inside here. So we can just going to grab our weights, right click, download. You can use it in your own applications and projects. So what we're going to do, we're just going to call the model.predict. Going to run it on this inference image that's going to download automatically from Ultralytics. We're going to save it, and we're only interested in person, helmet, vest, and goggle. So you can filter out the classes here. If you don't filter, it's going to detect everything. So it's going to take a look at our predict. There we go. We have our JPEG image. We have our person. We're missing detections, but we just need to train longer, and we will get our detections pretty much. So this is how we can train the model. Now we can go and export to any other format, like all these formats here. We cover them in detail in the other videos, going into full details with ONNX, TensorRT if you're using NVIDIA hardware. It's basically just how we can run it on an optimized framework. So now our model is done training. We would always pretty much export into some optimized framework when we want to get our model into production and run out there, because we get a free 5x inference speed increase. Even if you're running it on CPU, TPU, it doesn't really matter. If you use the correct framework, you can get up to 3 to 5 times speed up without losing any accuracy or very little accuracy, if any at all. So this is a pretty good trade-off. Here you can see we're just going to export into ONNX. So only thing that we have to do is just model e.export, and then the format. You can do an engine if you're on NVIDIA hardware and you have TensorRT up and running. But again, all these things are in the Ultralytics documentation with the different arguments. So if you want to use half precision, only floating point 16-bit, it will be faster, smaller model. You can have dynamic shapes. You can simplify with ONNX. You can even quantize it all the way down to int 8. You can also optimize it for batch size. So if you're not processing like 1 image at a time, but 8 images at a time, you can get it to run even more crazy fast. So it's just exported. That's all we have to do. It's a few commands. All these notebooks here, they're available again on the GitHub repository, so make sure to check them out, and they will also be down in the description. There we go. ONNX. We can go into our directory, best.onnx. We download it to our computer, and then we can use the ONNX format in our projects. You can do OpenVINO if you have Intel hardware, TensorRT, NVIDIA hardware, and so on. Just make sure you use the correct one. We have videos covering both of them in full details. Hope you learned a ton this video here, guys. This is very, very cool use case for computer vision project. Just getting something up and running, but also providing a lot of real value, safety, measurements, PPE equipment required, like wearing actual like vest, helmets, and so on construction sites. It's a pretty big industry. Hope you learned a ton. Definitely go and check it out, and then I'll just see you guys in one of the upcoming videos. Until then, happy training.